with Frank Boal.
Evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Sound Off. You get to be a part of this fine program and a conversation on everything sports. Tweet us your questions and comments using the hashtag Sunday Sound Off. Let's introduce tonight's panel. What a great-looking bunch this is. Seren and Petro, Sports Radio 810 WHB in the program from 10 until 2 every day. Seren, how are you?
I'm doing well. I realized when we were sitting here kind of looking at the camera shots before we got started, why you guys wear makeup in TV. Has anybody ever had a shinier forehead than I'm rocking right now? Brutal.
You got it. Mark Bo Richter, analyst, football analyst over at 810 and former chief. Mark, how are you?
I'm good, Frank. Glad to be back in the number 2 seat this week, back to back. I appreciate it.
That's right. You are down in the basement where you belong. We usually reserve that spot for Grunhard.
My spot.
Tim Grunhard, former Kansas City Chiefs great and center and football analyst at 810. Tim, how are you?
That's right, Mark. You're in my spot, but you're sporting that great sweater today, so I'll just let you have that.
And what is the greatest thing about that seat, Tim? You can leave in about 2 seconds.
That's right. I'm out of here. Boom.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Gentlemen, here's our hot topics of the evening. Who takes the brunt of the blame for the Chiefs' loss today? And how would you handle Marcus Peters? And God, what is wrong with Big 12 football? No one ranked in the top 15. But first, to our question of the week, what's your confidence level in the Chiefs after today's loss? Seren, get started.
You know, I'm still pretty confident. I'm not going to get too far down on this team. Look, I know they had problems today. The offense just didn't get going. But I think there was every reason to believe that this team was going to be flat today. I didn't. I liked the Chiefs to win the game because they'd won 11 regular season games in a row. And so, you know, ride that train until it stopped. Well, it got stopped now, and we'll see how they bounce back. The next game will be a big one against the New York Jets because they have some firepower. I am concerned about their corners. I mean, that is looking like a problem. A combination of a lack of pass rush and a lack of coverage out there is a little bit scary. But overall, look, this team had a huge come-from-behind win last week. They beat the Houston Texans twice last year. There was every reason for them to be overconfident and flat this week, and I think that's exactly what they are. I think we'll know a lot more after they play the Jets next week.
Mark, it is the second straight slow start for them. I don't understand what is going on with that situation, but and they couldn't rally this week.
No, they couldn't rally this week, and you know I'd pump the brakes on the panic button, okay, here in Kansas City a little bit. You know, the biggest question for me is which team are we going to see now? You know, we saw what happened a little bit today with the first half of the offense, and again, of course, last week in the first half of the entire team. Which team are the Kansas City Chiefs right now? Are they that team, or are they the team we saw in the second half a week ago? But, you know, we're only 2 weeks into this thing at this point. I think the expectations are still high. You pump the brakes a little bit on the panic button at this point. They've got a lot to clean up. Going on the road, that's a good football team, the Houston Texans, that they lost to today. And the defense did a pretty darn good job of holding them to the amount of points. The offense just didn't come to play today at all.
Tim, what are your thoughts on that?
And keep it to the car theme. I think you got to push the gas here a little bit because they are starting very slow. You know me, I'm always watching the offensive line. You had holding calls, you had offsides, you had bad snaps. You can't start with 1st and 15, or you can't get to 2nd and 15 or 2nd and 20 and expect to have a long drive. I don't think Alex Smith played particularly well today. I didn't think the running game really developed until a little bit later. And some of those were garbage yards on some draws and some things towards the end of the game that it looked like the Houston Texans kind of let up a little bit. But the pressure on the outside wasn't very good. Mitchell Schwartz didn't play a very good game. Eric Fisher didn't play a very good game. And the guys in the middle don't seem to be on the same page. And when you have 2 new guards and basically a rookie center, those things happen.
And Tim, what is it about after winning a game like they did last week that you would, you know, people don't quite understand sometimes why you would come out and flat instead of come out flying because you'd won such a big game the week before?
Well, I think there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of adrenaline that is cashed in when you have to come back in a big game like that. That's why you don't want to get in those situations. You know, I'm not going to make that excuse. You got to come out. Listen, there's only 16 of them.
Right.
You know, you got to get and play all the time. This team seems like it's sponsored by Ambient in the first half, both the offense and the defense. So it's time. Hey, listen, let's drink some coffee, get some Red Bull, do something to get going. My God.
But keep it legal. Okay, keep it legal.
Get a prescription.
Up next, our hot topics. You're watching Sunday Sound Off.